What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about World's Finest Teen Titans, issue number 4, I think of 6. I think this is only going to go for 6 issues, but only time will tell. But yes, so this was an issue that came out last week. I forgot to talk about it, and with all the new comic books coming out tomorrow, with Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong being the main one, of course, I wanted to get my quick thoughts on this issue of World's Finest Teen Titans. That way I'm all caught up from last week and then ready to go for this week. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes I forget, I'm like, oh wait, I didn't do this. Let me go ahead and talk about this one. But this one, of course, is written by Mark Waid. As you know, he writes Batman Superman World's Finest, which the new issue of that comes out tomorrow, which are going to be visiting the Kingdom Come world, so I'm excited about that. There's actually a lot of comics I'm excited to read tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. But anyways, this might actually be my favorite issue of World's Finest Teen Titans, and the reason being is there really isn't, it's kind of a surprising one. It's kind of just the heroes outside the capes and costumes. Like, we don't really get these many types of issues all that often, I feel like, in current comic books. I mean, it's a superhero comic, so you do expect some sort of action, but I also kind of like the more character moments outside the cape and cowl, and that's what most of this issue is. I mean, there's some action towards the end with Bumblebee and Guardian or whatever, which is kind of like it felt like kind of tacked on at the very end, but it's still something setting up the next issue. The main thing in this particular issue, it's Roy and Garth who stay at Wally West's house, and it's a sleepover, and Garth is really kind of a fish out of water. The parents are kind of concerned, like, hey, there's something really up with this guy. He's always trying to drink water. He doesn't know how to walk downstairs because obviously he's from Atlantis and all that, so there's something off-putting about that. Roy is there, and you know, they're playing video games, and they kind of go into like some of their issues and all that's kind of going on. At one point, the parents do, like, there comes a point where they're like, hey, we need to talk to you about your friend, and you think it's going to be about Garth, but it's really about Roy and how kind of insufferable he is. But Garth is there to kind of come to his defense and saying, hey, look, his thing is he's kind of feeling neglected from his parental figure, which is Oliver Queen, which we've established early on, and he's just kind of acting out because he craves attention. So, like, I kind of like the moment where he stood up to him, so that stood up for him in a way. I thought that was kind of cool. And then again, there's the ending of the issue where they fight like this ant guy, and they set up like this other guy kind of pulling strings behind the scenes. Maybe he was the guy who was in the last couple of issues doing his stuff, but yeah, like I said, I think the strength of this issue is the interactions between Wally, Garth, and Roy, and just kind of that more personable stuff with the three of them, and kind of diving into like why Roy is like he is, and seeing Garth a little bit of a fish out of water. That's really the title of the issue. So I always kind of like moments like that. There is a brief appearance of Robin, Dick Grayson, and Donna Troy, who apparently went to a demolition derby and just had a real fun time with it, I suppose. You know, that actually would have been kind of fun to watch, but we didn't really like get to see that. And then, of course, Bumblebee and all that's just kind of off doing her thing, and more villainous stuff is going on the sides. But that's pretty much the issue for the most part. But like I said, I like the more kind of character beats with the heroes outside the cape and cowl and stuff, so that was the thing that kind of drew me to this issue and got me invested a little bit more. Is it as good as Batman Superman World's Finest? No, I don't think so, but like I said, it's kind of the character building moments that I appreciated most with this particular issue, to the point where I wasn't really missing like the action towards the end. It's kind of how I felt about like Superman Rebirth, that run by Gleason and Tomasi. There were so many great moments outside of like the suits and like, you know, the fighting and all that that really kind of drew me into the series. So, I mean, you can have some great action in a comic book, but it's kind of the moments outside the action that kind of draw me to the characters a little bit more, if I'm being honest. It's kind of different, like in the comic book medium, that's kind of the stuff I like the most, more of the slice of life, everyday kind of things. I've been kind of gravitating towards that, but if it's like an actual like medium, like television or like a movie or something like that, I want to see the action a little bit more. But like with comics where it's kind of still images like this, like I kind of like the like I said, the more kind of character building moments. And like I said, I like action too, but it's kind of just those smaller moments that kind of get to me a little bit more. So that's one of the aspects I really liked about this thing. And artwork is pretty good for the most part. Some of the other stuff with Bumblebee and that, like, it's kind of in there, but it wasn't really as interesting, or like the brief appearance of Robin and Donna Troy, which you probably could have just omitted them from the issue and you really wouldn't miss much. You kind of get a hint of like her issues with Garth, which we've kind of already established in the last couple of issues, how they're just not really a good fit for each other. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of like in this thing, and I am enjoying World's Finest Teen Titans, not as much as Batman Superman World's Finest. I don't think it's nearly up to par with that series, like in terms of artwork and story line wise, but I think it is working for me for the most part. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this one. If you have any thoughts on this particular issue, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more content, all that other fun stuff. And I will be back again tomorrow. First issue, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Comic book of the year for me. I haven't even read it yet, but I'm so stoked to talk about that one. And then there's some other stuff too, but that's the main one for me. Like, that's comic book of the month. So basically, from starting tomorrow, there's going to be something Monsterverse related every month until the new Empire comes out. So looking forward to all that stuff. But anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.